Hi there, I'm Arroyo Eubanks. Welcome to Jamaica Magazine. Still to come in this half hour, the JIS is reaching out to children in need, promoting physical and emotional well-being. Plus, the Ministry of Youth and Culture is pursuing initiatives for youth development and the preservation of our culture. Sit back and relax as these and more come your way following this message.
A healthy and educated people living in a clean, natural environment, reducing crime, improving the justice system and governance, building a prosperous economy. It's not just a vision, it's reality. Learn about the plan. Join the vision.
My country, Jamaica, has a rich heritage and is very unique. If we all pull together, we can make it the place of choice to
live, work, raise family, and to do business.
For more information on Vision 2030, call the Planning Institute of Jamaica or visit vision2030.gov.jm, your parish library, school library, or the Jamaica Information Service.
Look inside the drum. Those are the Aedes aegypti larvae, the one that causes dengue fever. If all of these larvae mature to be adults, and if the female larva bites someone with the dengue fever, it will acquire the dengue virus. And if that mosquito bites you, you will get it.
Dengue fever?
Yes. Help prevent the spread of dengue.
Clean up your home and community.
Destroy mosquito breeding sites.
Protect yourself from mosquito bites. Prevent dengue fever.
Two years ago, when we embarked on the economic reform program, Jamaica was ranked amongst the most indebted countries in the world. Today, 2 years later, we have turned all of this around. Jamaica is still at a fragile point, halfway through the program, and we still have a long way to go. It is the sustained economic growth that will provide the jobs and improve the quality of life for Jamaican families. That is our ultimate objective. While we are not where we want to be as yet, the economy is returning to growth. There is evidence of increased productive activity to be seen in small, medium, and large businesses. 9 agri-parks have already been successfully established and are producing onions, cassava, potatoes, and other crops. The expectation is that over the next 3 years, 21 additional agri-parks will be established. The business process outsourcing sub-industry continues to expand and provide employment to thousands of Jamaicans. Our tourism industry continues to show positive signs. I can now announce that the Cabinet has given its approval for provisional development orders to be issued to Harmony Cove Limited and Celebration Jamaica Development Limited as approved integrated resort developers. In terms of the Harmony Cove development, the total estimated cost for Phase 1 is projected at $970 million, with annual job creation forecast at more than 1,200 direct jobs during construction and more than 2,700 direct full-time equivalent jobs once operations commence. For Celebration Jamaica Development Limited, the estimated cost for Phase 1 is approximately $500 million, with employment in excess of 2,400 persons. Each of these projects, under the terms of the order, will be required to start construction by the middle of next year and to ultimately construct 2,000 hotel rooms each. significant progress has been made on the North-South Highway being undertaken by the China Harbour Engineering Company, CHEC, representing some $600 million in investment, with the full completion of the project scheduled for early January 2016. Whilst major investments are necessary, sustained levels of economic growth requires the expansion of small and medium-sized businesses. The government, through the Development Bank of Jamaica, has placed a lot of focus on mobilizing this sector over the past 3 years, with, among other things, the development of a voucher program which twins the availability of business advisory services with the availability of capital for medium and small enterprises. There are quite a few exciting investments in the energy sector which are well underway, including the conversion by the JPS of the Bogue power plant to natural gas, the development of the Jamalco power plant, along with other investments in wind and solar technologies that will go a far way in further reducing the cost of electricity. Jamaica is making progress under the economic reform program. Yes, much more remains to be done, but we have to build on the gains that have been made and not abandon our course. Let us continue to work together to bring growth and sustained economic development to Jamaica, land we love.
We want a productive Jamaica. We are not productive Jamaicans. Productivity to move forward on this land. Productivity, that's the way to go, we should understand. Productivity is the way to go for all us Jamaicans. Small business, big business, old and young, we are tell every woman and man. We want growth and prosperity, free a better nation with a building plan. So we can build our product and sell our product and put more money in our hand. Our economy can rise to a level and build a better nation. Productivity to move forward on this land. Productivity, that's the way to go, we should understand. Productivity to move forward on this land. Productivity, that's the way to go, we should understand. Productivity.
Productivity, pathway to prosperity. A message brought to you by the Jamaica Productivity Center, a department of the Ministry of Labor and Social Security.
Building your knowledge base to become educated and skilled is an important factor for success. Also important, keeping fit and healthy. The JIS team has been supporting this aspect of development for boys at the Mount Olivet Boys Home through sports. Take a look.
It has become an annual affair. Sports Day at the Mount Olivet Home for Boys, with their corporate guardian, the Jamaica Information Service. Everyone looks forward to the final weekend in April outdoors, this year under partly cloudy skies in the cool hills of Walderston, Manchester. Staff and friends of the JIS were out in their numbers, engaging the children in competitive and healthy, fun activities.
We at the JIS, we are not just interested in their education, and we were interested in their whole total physical well-being as well.
The annual Sports Day is the second of 3 planned visits by the JIS each year as part of the agency's corporate outreach activities there. Arranged in 4 competitive houses defined by their colors, teams press to dominate their opponents in events such as the sprints, relays, sack races, football, tug-of-war, bun eating, and lime and spoon races.
There's a variety of reasons why we choose these events. Well, definitely recreation. We want them to get into the habit of doing physical work, exercising, playing sports, etc.
At the end of every challenging task, there's the euphoria of winning, which motivates.
Give it up for the red team!
The young men also learn to be strong in the face of defeat. It's the kind of camaraderie that contributes to the holistic development of the boys, which the home seeks to provide and the JIS is only too eager to support.
It is a good experience for them to, the sportsmanship and just sharing with regular families, the JIS family, the other families. We know that some of our boys, might not have not, met with their families for a while. So it is good that, as a family, not just the boys who are here at the home, but other family, people who care for them, will come and spend a day with them, helping them to have fun.
It's also about the link between physical activity and good health.
Being healthy and fit is a big part of preventing diseases, just to remain healthy generally.
Sports Day at the Mount Olivet Home for Boys has been going for 4 years now and just gets better every time.
Went well, we started to do some good warm-up. The scores are not far and wide apart. Red won by about 9 points or 6 points.
JIS Special Projects Manager Andreen Davidson is happy for the support from its partners who have continued to give generously.
Well, we'd like to say a special thank you to Maxwell Bakery and Lasco distributors. They have come on board and they have supported us in a big way this time around, and we're just appealing to other persons who have an interest in the children of Jamaica to just come on board with the JIS as we try to enhance the lives of these boys here at Mount Olivet.
The JIS team's other scheduled visits to the home are in August for back-to-school preparations and December.
Well, we continue to say thanks to JIS and their family for spending the time to plan such an event for the boys and to journey in from Kingston and just helping the boys to just have a good time.
The Mount Olivet Boys Home was adopted by the JIS in 2009 and remains the agency's main corporate social responsibility project.
Each time you're not paying full attention to the road environment, the greater your chances of getting in a crash like that. Plan routes to avoid focusing on GPS systems, prevent children from roaming in motor vehicles, turn down the volume of car stereo systems, pull off the roadway if you have to use mobile devices, do not read, watch television or eat while driving, avoid multitasking, and keep conversations with other passengers to a minimum. Whether you walk, ride or drive, avoid potentially fatal distractions.
The Ministry of Youth and Culture has rolled out a number of initiatives to both protect and enhance the lives of young people, as well as to protect and capitalize from Jamaica's rich culture. More in this next feature.
We're attacking the abuses and violence against our children through programs of education and public awareness. And we're going to be bolstering this program this year. We have reviewed the Child Care and Protection Act and the Child Adoption Act. And we'll be presenting those aspects of the Act, of the CCPA that are relevant to our ministry, to the Joint Parliamentary Committee, so that we can make sure that we have the correct systems in place. We also instituted a best practices program for the standards of care at the Maxfield Park Children's Home, which will be rolled out into other children's homes this coming year. We've put a number of systems in place now to revitalize that foster care program so that we can add more resources, because we believe that children are better off in a family setting. Of the 45 privately operated children's homes, 38 or 84% have been issued with licenses. The other 7 homes have submitted applications but have outstanding documentation to fulfill the requirements for the licensing. And they have been written to, and they've been given a deadline, and we're going to be working with them to make sure that they are able to get their standards up to speed. We introduced and implemented the first phase of the case management system, which is an electronic system that tracks a child from entry to state care to exit. The next 2 phases will be rolled out this year. And through the engagement of counselors, clinical psychologists, and psychiatrists, we have been helping about 2,000 children with counseling. And that program of therapeutic intervention is so necessary that we're going to bolster it, and we're going to make sure that there's a space in every single parish for therapy for children in state care so that they can get the help. The goal of the MPACV is to create and maintain a protective environment supportive of and responsive to the issues of violence, child abuse, and maltreatment of children in Jamaica. And it is going to be an integrated approach between all of us as ministries that we'll be implementing over the course of this year. And I'm calling on all Jamaicans, particularly the church, teachers, and communities, to pay special attention to our children's need for guidance, mentorship, and protection.
Bless me, mighty Jaja, bless me, so that they can curse me.
Every single piece of legislation is in place to protect our children. But all of this amounts to zero if parents and communities don't wake up and speak up. The practice of keeping silent and not giving the evidence to convict the perpetrators who abuse them must stop. Must work to protect our culture in all its forms, physically and artistically. With the assistance of UNESCO, we have created a data bank of the intangible cultural heritage of many communities island-wide. We'll also be producing a cultural passport for thousands of students at the secondary level, and this will allow students to not only visit sites and events free of cost, but also at a reduced rate. This year's National Festival on Emancipation Independence is expanded, and it is enhanced to include the commemoration of the 150th anniversary of the Morant Bay Rebellion. We have added another 3 museums to the 4 that we implemented last year. I am pleased to announce that the government of Jamaica is partnering with the Japanese government to enhance the technological capacity of the Institute of Jamaica. We're also working to resolve the issue of the relocation of the persons who occupy the home of the national hero, the Right Excellent Marcus Garvey. We aim to start refurbishing and restoration of the property by the anniversary of his next birthday. I am pleased to report that ICOMOS and ICN has said that the Blue and Jonquera Mountains, they are recommended it for inscription to be on the World Heritage List. This year, we're spending $344.6 million on youth programs, and we have even bolstered them even more on top of the ones that we have there to impact about 15,000 young people.
Man a juggle peanut, man a juggle Yanzi, couple mesh marina, couple baby onesie, man a run a taxi, even if a battery. If you want to leave it up just like you win the lottery. Uno fi set up shop, choose land set up shop, plain land set up shop, Spain man set up, slide pen set up shop, Grand Spain set up shop.
I have tasked the NYS to work closer to the members of Parliament, to come to you personally and design training programs with you, because I know you have different cadres that our programs can help you with, and to see how we can also utilize our resources along with yours to push better programs, to give you a more individualized personal attention and touch. We're giving scholarships to 6 graduates of the Edna Manley College to spend the day and do artistic work in the life of a person with a disability, particularly a young person. There's a program between CPTC and NYS to identify 31 youth across the island to be trained in media production over a 6-month period. It's a paid internship program. This reintegration program, Mr. Speaker, will be a multi-sectoral approach, and it will address issues in this group. We're hoping to reduce crime, We're hoping to reduce delinquent behaviors in secondary school, and we're hoping to increase self-acceptance. Today we table the youth policy, and we expect this to galvanize the focus of the country on the importance of youth development to secure the nation's future. This should be the mandate of us all, to get our youth connected, to get our youth satisfied, to get our children protected. Let us keep connected, and let us also keep our young people connected.
Measles, mumps, and rubella are potentially dangerous childhood diseases. Parents, ensure your children get the MMR vaccine to protect them. The first shot should be given when children are between 12 and 15 months old, and another before they start school. Women of childbearing age should also ensure they get the MMR vaccine, as they could transmit dangerous conditions to their children if infected while pregnant. To know more, visit your nearest clinic or health center or contact the Ministry of Health.
Hi there, I'm Simone Wolf with your JIS News of the Week. Finance Minister Dr. Peter Phillips this week announced that Jamaica had passed its 8th IMF test, and in a national broadcast he told Jamaicans that government would not abandon its program to reform the economy.
In the process of successfully passing these tests, we have rescued the economy from near collapse and earned the respect of our international partners.
Dr. Phillips also addressed public sector demands for higher wages, saying government had offered what it could pay and could not afford to erode the debt reduction gains made so far.
While we appreciate the demand for a higher rate of wage increases at this time, we simply cannot afford it. We would lose all the gains that the country has made thus far.
During his national broadcast, the finance minister also announced that 2 local resorts were close to being granted casino licenses after Cabinet approved them being issued provisional development orders as approved integrated resort developers. This status is a precursor to the granting of a casino license.
We confidently expect that this will lead to a strengthening of the tourism industry's competitiveness and the bolstering of economic development through job creation, increased tax revenue, and additional demand for locally produced goods and services.
Harmony Cove and Celebration Jamaica will be building 2,000 hotel rooms each starting mid-2016. GSAT results were released this week, and the Education Ministry said most students were placed in schools of their choice.
73% of all GSAT placements involve one of the preferred schools that the child or their parent put down. Yes, 73%. 9,486, or approximately 25% of the students, have been placed on the grounds of proximity, either to the primary school where they attended or to the homes, the addresses that they gave.
The Education Minister also revealed that students improved their performance in 4 of the 5 GSAT subjects. The Foreign Affairs Ministry hosted the 2015 Jamaica Diaspora Conference in Montego Bay this week, attracting its largest turnout since inception. At the opening ceremony on Sunday, Foreign Affairs State Minister Arnaldo Brown announced that Jamaica was a step closer to fully completing the International Migration and Development Policy and the Diaspora Policy.
International Migration and Development Policy was approved by Cabinet for tabling in Parliament as a green paper, pending 2 amendments. The revised document was resubmitted with an accompanying Cabinet submission in May 2015.
The Diaspora Policy, meanwhile, is being refined for submission to Cabinet.
Diaspora Policy will also focus on engaging our people overseas in key areas of social and economic policy planning, including the National Economic Growth Agenda.
The Ministry of Health signed an $81 million contract on Wednesday with Toyota Jamaica Limited to purchase 10 new ambulances. Minister Fenton Ferguson said several other ambulances were also being sourced for various areas of the public health system.
The procurement of these ambulances, therefore, while complementing several other activities, will assist to fill some of the existing gaps where transporting patients is concerned.
Cabinet has approved a contract valued at over $7 million for Derrick Gibson Limited to implement a major water supply improvement project in the Kingston metropolitan area.
The work includes the procurement of 50,000 solid-state cold water meters and 25,000 brass valves, and that contract is for 12 months.
And finally, the Transport and Works Ministry has reopened the 1.9-kilometer West Road in northeast Manchester after $6.5 million in repairs. At the reopening, State Minister Richard Azan said parish councils were getting $70 million to similarly fix other roads this year.
And we are going to go further with the discussion, not 2G, but some other things that we're going to have more discussion on, is that we are going to say, come up with part of your money and we will match it to make sure say more roads are repaired in the small community.
And those were some of the stories making news this week. I'm Simone Wolf.
Remember when we did have things and we say a colorful flash with a floral dash?
We will see the return of festival fashion under the theme Bandana with Denim, create the fashion rhythm.
You see this piece of cloth? It is no longer a piece of cloth. It is now called fabric. Because it gone in a society, Miss Denim married to Miss Bandana, and things are going on.
Never forget my Jamaican shore. Let's open the door and welcome the poor. Show love to each other some more. I know we no nice like my Jamaica. No we no sweet like my Jamaica.
This is the right one. This is the original one. Over time, we lost touch with it, and sometimes we couldn't find it, and so some other designs came with a finer plaid. But if you're buying, try get this one. This is what really is or not.
Then I should then Mrs. McCann have your pants they come, me bry out a barrel, go muggle, 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 muggle. Ladies and gentlemen, Miss Culture 20 nuff nuff.
We spend time in America and in Canada. No we so me like my Jamaica. No we no nice like my Jamaica. No we no sweet like my Jamaica. We spend time in America and in Canada. No we so me like my Jamaica. When me day a foreign hungry used to bust me shut. Now me there Jamaica, all of things food me go.
We're going to cook up a whole heap of fashion.
We have to give thanks to your land like this.
This is where we close Jamaica Magazine for today. We're back tomorrow with more useful information. In the meantime, keep the link, use our Facebook and Twitter pages, YouTube channel, and the JIS website to stay in touch and get the very latest government information. On behalf of the team here at the JIS, I'm Arroyo Eubanks, reminding you to stay healthy, eat well, get adequate rest, and make every day a productive one.
This has been a production of the Jamaica Information Service, the voice of Jamaica.